What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Brandy.
And welcome back to another episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast. What's going on? We back. It's officially season 3. Tuesdays are lit again. I'm so back. So glad to be back. Kicking it with y'all.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays now.
I keep forgetting about the lives.
And shameless plug, but really not that shameless. If you are not, you should be following us on Patreon, where you can watch the episode be recorded live. You get exclusive behind the scenes access to all the things that we do beforehand. You will see a little mini argument if you were on there today. Oh, well, not an argument, but Russell was being shady during his prayer.
Oh my
and
Yo, you know how messed up you gotta be up top to think someone's being shady in a prayer.
So we pray before every episode. So that's something that you'll be able to see on Patreon, as well as our setup and our beforehand conversation about what we're going to talk about. And when he was praying, he said something like, "Lord, just let my wife behave in a way that is." I
said, I rebuke the presence of the enemy. I said, I rebuke the enemy trying to make my wife feel like she has to behave in any way that is different than the way you created her. I don't know how you see shade from that.
Shady.
How?
It's insinuating that I was behaving in a way.
No, it's insinuating that how God made you is perfect, how he wired you, your personality. Mm-hmm. And if there are any outside forces that make you feel like you can't be yourself, I rebuke that.
Okay.
Is what I was trying to articulate. Clearly, I failed.
Y'all join the Patreon.
Because that definitely is not what I'm trying to say. Because as soon as we got done praying, she was like, you know what? I'm going to upload the footage too so you can hear this prayer. Y'all decide for yourself.
That's
she definitely was like,
Patreon
y'all definitely being shady with your prayer. What? Who's shady in prayer?
He trying to sick Jesus on me, y'all.
That's that old church mother spirit.
Nah.
That ain't being shady with no prayers.
He trying to sick Jesus on me. Like,
sick.
Lord, she got an attitude. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Okay. Okay. All right. You will not put that on my prayer. If y'all out there being petty with prayer, something wrong with y'all.
Listen, I be sicking God on my enemies. He said he would take care of that for me, so I'll let him know who they is.
But this me though, you my enemy.
They said, and God, I need you to handle that.
Oh my God. We need to find some fly to call the people who join our Patreon. Like,
they the family.
They all our family, but the ones who's on Patreon, they different. We got to call them Patriots.
No.
Hey, shout out to the Patriots. No. What up?
Absolutely
Patreon. It works.
Absolutely, you don't.
It's a working title. But we got to find a way to show them extra love.
Work, really.
We call everybody family. Patreon got to be something different.
They family.
They kick it with us. They behind the scenes. They in the room with us when we recording.
They the crew.
Okay. All right. What are we talking about today? Oh, yo, let me ask you this. Have you ever experienced a breakup?
Everybody has experienced a breakup.
Nah, some people have never been broken up with.
Well, that's not the same as experiencing a breakup. Have I ever been broken up with is your question?
That's my question. Have you ever been broken up with?
One time, but I didn't let him like fully break up with me.
How you stop him? What you mean you didn't let him?
So he like,
you know what, I ain't feeling you know where you got.
Nah, we was in high school, right? And we was doing stuff that high schoolers should not be doing, disclaimer. And he had picked me up from work and dropped me off at home and then tried to have that we need to have a talk. And he was like, you know, we just don't hang in the same circles. Like, it's really hard for us to get together. And I just think it would be better if we was friends. And I was like, okay, Randy, you can't let him know that you pressed. So I was like, all right, that's cool. But like, can we still mess around? And he was like, oh yeah. And I'm like, okay, then we good. So we still messed around for a really long time after that.
You didn't stop him from breaking.
He did.
Yo,
I mean, he didn't break up with me fully.
Oh, it was like, okay, I can't let him break up with me. So
we still hung. We still kicked it. We just
high school.
Weren't an official couple.
All right.
But like, I mean, it was, it was what it was. You claim that you broke up with me every time that we dated.
Yes, we did.
But it's not true, but that's your claim.
You remember breaking up with me ever?
I didn't need to. I just stopped talking to you.
That's not true. That's not literally not true.
It is.
It's not true. What do you mean you stopped talking to me?
I just stopped talking to you in the way that we had been talking to each other. Like I would get mean, I would fall back, and then you'd be like, well, I guess we broke up.
Yeah, but so the point is you never broke up with anybody. I'm talking about having a conversation.
No, I broke up with plenty of people.
I'm talking about having a conversation with somebody. And this is good we talk about this today. Because clearly the way you were doing it, the other person didn't know.
No, that's just with you.
Well,
I've broken up with people before. Like me telling you, yo, like it's not gonna work out. Oh yeah, I've had that conversation a time.
Give me the usual what it is.
What I usually say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
don't think I have a script. Nah.
So you're literally telling them exactly what it is.
Yeah,
you're that type of person.
On, you know me.
Okay.
Let's be for real.
So
usually I will say that like I don't include a breakup with just people that I'm like talking to. Right. So like you have to have been my boyfriend in order for me to consider it a breakup. Mm-hmm. And usually in all my past relationships, like I put up with way more than a normal person should have to put up with in a relationship. So by the time I broke up with you, I was done. Like it was R. Kelly with A Woman's Fed Up. Like I'm saying all the reckless stuff that I wanted to say to you 6 months ago, but because I was trying to keep peace in the home, I didn't say it. So now I don't care.
Oh, wow.
I don't care how you feel. I don't care what I say. I don't care what's going to happen because I will fight you and we'll just be two people in the parking lot fighting. Like I didn't have a problem with that.
You know, I would prefer that though.
I just told him, look, this ain't what it is. You need to get your stuff and you need to go. Like now.
Yeah, I think you were probably the closest to a breakup I've had. Probably the closest.
What, that you told somebody that you were breaking up with them?
No. I've never been broke up with.
Okay.
But you were the closest to being broken up. For someone telling me they didn't want to be with me. Clearly, you just did it with your actions.
Yeah.
Because you just started being mean and whatnot. I'm like, yo, I'm walking her home from school. She ain't said a word. How was your day? I mean, it was good or whatever.
Yeah.
Get to your house. You just walk in. I'm like, okay.
But see,
I think we should be friends.
We were different because, like, even though I broke up with you, I wasn't like breaking up with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could go play with little girls. It's
getting toxic.
But you was always my boyfriend.
It's toxic.
I wasn't worried about that.
It's toxic.
If I just got sick of you for a little bit, then I catch your attitude, but
it's real toxic.
It don't matter. I'm better now. See, shady. Shady.
You threw me the Uber on that one. You was trying to set me up for a joke.
Super shady.
You set me up.
Anyways,
but in terms of like breaking up with people, I have always admittedly been trash at it. Always.
I can see that. You're such a nice guy. Yeah. And that's where nice guys fail. Like, it's hard having difficult conversations.
Yeah.
So you just kind of let things linger and then.
Well, once again, it depends, right? So if we just kicking and we talking, I don't feel the need to give you that much of an explanation because the roots didn't go that deep. But if you were like my girlfriend, then I got to have a conversation. But when I was explaining it, it really would be what I was saying. I just said it in such a way that it's like they thought it was something else. Like when I say, it's not you, it's me, it's real. And I know it don't sound like it sounds kind of cliche, but it really do be me. Because there would never be like any real issues, right? Mm-hmm. Like we weren't arguing, we ain't fighting. It's just, I ain't feeling it. You know what I mean? Like this ain't it.
See, that's when people still be trying to like hang on to you and still want to be your friend. Like when I break up with somebody, I need it like a clean cut. You know, I don't mess with you.
Yeah,
I can't have them strings attached and you trying to, hey, how you doing? You still good? Like you want me to come over? No, I'm not your friend. Stop calling me.
Little rendezvous be hidden when you was out. He's out in the world. Them little double backs. Now I'm playing. Let me stop playing because I know some people that be listening to me and be taking what I say serious. I am just playing. And let me say this disclaimer. For those of y'all who only know me in a certain context, this is me for real, okay? If you only know me from TikTok where I be saying deep stuff, if you come here, I'll be playing around sometimes. Take what I say with a grain of salt. And I'll usually let you know I'm playing. I'm just playing. The rendezvous in between relationships is not where it's at, but you know, back then when you weren't in the right mindset, it would be kind of lit.
I used to have the mentality though that like when I broke up with somebody, sometimes after the healing process has ended, I would go back if I wasn't messing with nobody else. Cause like I used to think I don't want to add nobody else to the list. So it's okay to go back.
That's
to
such
the
a girl
ones.
thing. It's such a girl thing.
It's okay to go back to the ones that I already been with and just let them know, like, this is all that it is.
That's so wild that that's so calculated. Like I have to protect my number, my body count. I got to really protect that. So let me strategically find a way to please my fleshly needs in a way that it doesn't put me in the, the garden tool category. That's wild.
Well, when you say it like that.
Nah, that's
a little crazy.
It's so crazy. Who's giving that much forethought?
Me.
It's like, man, I'm attracted to this guy. I can't be putting no more numbers on here. It's getting wild.
Yeah,
I'm already at number 8. This too much.
Especially if I'm like filling out a new situation. Like it's okay to keep a little back pocket situation. Cause I'm like, I can't mess with him. Like it's too early. I don't really know what's going on.
This is wild.
But I don't think like that no more.
Amen.
Now I feel like if you having sex and you out here in the world, just marry him. It's easier. And if you can't see yourself marrying somebody that you having sex with, you probably shouldn't be having sex with them.
There you go. Okay, I was with. All right. Yes, that part. Because honestly, though, and we might be turning our street that's taking us away from what we're here to talk about, but
we just here to talk. We ain't here to talk about nothing specific. What you guys say?
We don't got no subject for today?
I mean, we got a subject, but I mean, like, you don't got to be so stringent that you can't.
Sex, like, honestly, like, when you introduce sex early, it just creates a whole new situation, right? Like, without the sex, you could have somebody that you really like, I really don't enjoy my time with them. But you might get introduced to the sex part and be like, well, hold on, this right here is really fun. So then when you show up, you're not even showing up to get to know them, to spend time with them, to even really sit in who they are as a person, because you're just trying to get to the sex. Mm-hmm. And once that's over, you just go on your way. But once you do that for so long, you kind of just end up in these situationships, because I've been dealing with you for months up to a year. And I've been spending so much time with you. We're having sex, and I don't care how plainly you try to have sex, there's some form of connection when you do that. A big connection that happens, right? So now we in a whole situationship. I don't really care for your personality like that, but I'm connected to you on a spiritual level, and I enjoy what we do sexually.
Yeah.
So now I gotta break up with you, and I didn't even really.
But that's not a breakup. Like
it's a breakup.
If we just messing around, and I just be like, okay, yeah, that's not breakup.
Girls get to do that. Dudes don't get to do that. I done had to break up with girls that I never asked to be my girlfriend.
That's because, look, I saw something. Oh my gosh, I wish I remember his name, but he's a pastor, and he said, as soon as you start catching feelings, you should start seeking clarity. So as soon as if you're in a situation and you start catching feelings for somebody, that is the moment you need to be like, yo, what is we doing? Am I your girlfriend? Are we just messing around? Like, because I'm starting to catch feelings. But I think what happens is, especially for females, or I'm going to speak for myself, we catch feelings for a dude. And we're scared. We don't know where he stands, because sometimes it's really hard to read y'all. You know, y'all kick it with us and be like, and tell your boys, no, that ain't my girlfriend. I just spent time with her. And we'd be like, I'm in a whole relationship with you, and you're just saying I'm your friend.
When did we have that conversation?
How did it work out? But we get into this mindset that, like, if we have that conversation with y'all, then y'all might realize that we catching feelings and then be like, no, that ain't what I want. So we'll stick around in the situation, and we're just falling deeper and deeper with y'all every day, because we're scared to have the conversation that may end up with us not being together at all. So I put up with what you want, which is just F buddy. And I'm like, yo, I really like him. Turns out I really love him, but I'm not seeking clarity on what the relationship is from your end. And then now I'm in a situation which is what you were describing, where you just kicking it, but that's your girlfriend in her mind. Yeah. And now you feel like you got to break up because neither one of y'all ever saw clarity. And it really falls on the person who's catching the feelings to seek the clarity.
That's real. Now I'm going to be honest with you. In my small whole phase prior to finding Jesus. My short-lived.
It's a whole phase or it ain't.
In my short-lived, it wasn't a long phase, but it lasted for a little bit. In my short-lived whole phase, it didn't matter.
If they were catching feelings?
It didn't matter if I gave clarity.
To you?
No, to them, it did not matter. I gave clarity and I let them know up front. I am not looking for anything serious. I'm not looking for a relationship. And if you have real feelings for me, I'd rather just not go there. I think you cool. We can be friends. But if we go there, I just need you to know, like, I'm not looking for that.
But your problem is you always say this, you're wired for relationships. So I can't even imagine the way that you were conducting yourself with females that you like. I bet you were still.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just dudes are so trash that things that are just normal kindness are seen as like, oh my God, he really likes me. I'm just being a decent human being. Like, if you leave from my spot late at night, we've been drinking, we had sex, it's 3:00 in the morning, you've been drinking, like it's late, you're scantily dressed, like, yo, did you make it home safe? That is human decency. But it's like, oh wow, that's to me. That's like, yo, the next day after we have sex, me saying good morning to you is like, to me, that's just human decency. We just intertwined our souls the night before. What I look like just ignoring you.
Somebody who has feelings for you can see that, can take that in a different way. Like, I really feel like if you're in a true pro phase, I'm gonna stop saying that word, but if you out here and you in that phase of life, like, you have to be willing to just look at them as that, which is why you just shouldn't do that.
No. Like, hold on, don't get me.
Why we just
don't get me wrong.
Be out here.
Don't get me wrong. There is no right way to do. You know what I'm saying? That there's no way to be sexually promiscuous and it goes smoothly. Like, it don't go. I don't care what you say, but I am saying that I think women are a little wired differently in that when they like you, it don't matter what you say. If you still dealing with them and they mind you, they boyfriend. That's my experience.
I think there's some I wholeheartedly agree that there are some women that are like that 100%, and it's hard to cut those ties when, at least for me, when I have genuine feelings for you and we're doing things that boyfriend and girlfriends do, but with your mouth you're saying, no, I don't want that. But everything else is telling me.
But no, it's not. Like, if I'm not sitting up with you, I don't got a toothbrush at your crib, we ain't going out on dates. I don't even see you in the daylight. I only see you when it's for this one specific activity.
But what you're just failing to realize is if she has genuine feelings for you.
Thank you. No, you're saying what I'm saying. When a girl likes you, it don't matter.
It's not liking you, but just like falling. You know what I'm saying? Now I just want to be with him because I like him. Yeah. So whatever standard he sets for the relationship, I'm just gonna roll with that.
I'm gonna roll with it.
I've been there. I had a whole dude that was in jail. Talked to him on the phone.
Oh wow.
And was like, and people was clowning him like, oh, you over there booed up, and he like, I ain't booed up or whatever. I'm like, what's the problem? Why they making fun of you for talking to your girlfriend? And he was like, girlfriend? You not my girlfriend. I'm sending you money.
Who's that?
I'm talking to you. Why am I about to tell you on Beyonce's internet?
Hey yo, I never heard this story. Hold on.
I'm sending you money. I'm visiting you.
Put money on his books.
I'm taking your phone calls.
Oh Lord.
And you.
They wasn't free.
But I didn't stop. I wasn't like, oh well, I ain't doing that no more. I was like, okay, if I do a little bit more, if I show him that I'm down, if I take care of the stuff he need me to take care of, then he'll see that like I'm girlfriend. But he was not in prison. He was in county jail. Okay.
How long was he? How long was his bid?
Why are we getting into the specifics of the situation? I feel like
I'm saying, was he about to get out? Because you put a lot of work in. I wanted to see.
I feel like
all right, okay.
We doing too much.
All right. Let me pipe down.
But yeah, like we're trying. I think we get into this mindset where we're trying to like prove ourselves, like that I can do enough for you to see that I'm a good woman, that I'm a good person, that I will make a good girlfriend, eventually a good wife. So even though you're telling me that, I feel like I can change your mind and I can show you that I'm worthy of that, especially when I know that you're a good man. Like to me, I don't care what phase of life you in. It's easy to tell that you're just a good man, right? So if I see that, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to let it. And you messing with me? Like I got my hooks in you a little bit. I'm about to pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
That's why you sitting here.
No, that ain't it. Nah, you had me from the jump. And look, I'm about to crack a code. I'm about to break bro code. I'm talking to the ladies. Listen to me. If you the one, he knows that already. There's nothing you're going to have to do to show that you're the one. And when you're put in a position that you're trying to prove something, it's asinine, because if he doesn't see it off rip, he's never going to see it. Because you could be a great woman, that doesn't mean you're the woman for him in his mind.
Yeah,
you could have amazing qualities. You can cook. You might do all the flips and tricks, and when he gets home, pulling out all the stops, right? If in his mind he don't see you as his woman or the woman for him, you're not going to do it. There's nothing you're gonna do that's gonna make him say, "Wow, hey man, you know what? She is that." And most of the time, the dude that does do that, by the time he realizes it, the woman's been through hell and back, right? By the time he realizes, wow, you really are down for me, she's through. She's like, you know what? I'm done. Wait, nah, yo, for real, she held me down, y'all. Like, no. I knew the only reason I'm here with her is because I knew it off rip. I knew it from jump. She didn't have to prove nothing to me. And
you know what changed for me? Like, somebody really real in church kicked it to me and was like, yo, when I was at that point when I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm good. Like, God, if you want me to be by myself, then here I am. I'm going to give you all I got, and I'm going to live my best single life. Somebody came to me and was like, why are you tripping? Like, you are the prize. You get that, right? Like, it's not... You have to show somebody who you are. You have to earn a position in somebody's life. Like, you are the prize. Somebody would be lucky to have you. And when I started to believe that, I wasn't going to compromise on nothing, right? So if I had to be by myself, cool. But if I was going to really commit and get with somebody, they was going to accept me and know that they were like hitting the daggone jackpot when they got me.
Yeah.
You welcome.
Yeah. You saying
yeah, you welcome. Mm-hmm. You got a great prize. I'm just saying.
I can't help you out when you bragging on yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing.
No, but seriously, I think that, and I'm not going to speak for all women, but I do hear that a lot. It's like, you know what I'm saying? He just need to see X, Y, and Z. Ain't nobody ever been there for him, so he push everybody away. I just got to show him that I'm down. I got to show him that I'm not going to leave him. And we end up tying ourselves to people who never, ever in their life see themselves settling down with us.
That's real.
It's like, yeah, she a good girl. She good for these things, but the person that I want to spend my life with ain't that. You know what I'm saying?
Only thing you proven is that you'll be here.
Yeah.
Like, I can do what I want. She gonna hold me down. She gonna do this. She'll put money on my butt. She'll help me out if my money funny. She'll do this. If I need to put the dope up, she'll like.
I feel like you telling my business.
I really wasn't, but I feel like you definitely just put yourself.
What they say, a hit dog will holler, because I'm like, why you saying all this?
Nah, but it's real though. Like, what you're proving is you're here, and you'll jump through hoops, and you'll never have to do that for the right person. And I'm talking to the ladies, but fellas, same thing too. Mm-hmm. Same thing too. Like, if you the one, you don't gotta jump through hoops to show her that. Like, she should see that from jump. And if she can't see your value, she not the one. She not the one. And you will spend your entire life trying to show something that should already be seen. You know how exhausting that is? Living your life, and instead of really living, you're trying to show something. What? Like, if they don't just see it, then who are you being? If they don't see you and you're good enough, then who do you have to be approved?
I didn't see that on the flip side until maybe it was probably 3 years ago. Have a real close friend that was a close friend in high school. Hadn't talked to him in a long time. When I got on Facebook, friend requested me. You know, we was talking in the inbox, just catching up, and he was telling me about his situation. And that was his situation. Like, he wanted to marry this girl so bad. And she just was like, yeah. And telling him, like, you not the person for her. Like, she keeping you around because you're taking care of her.
Wow.
Like, and having, I think, him coming to the realization that y'all being used. Like, I'm like, you're a good dude. Like, anybody would be lucky to have you. But if you don't believe that, and you just fixated on this person and you not willing to see that you just deserve better. Not that she's a bad person. She's just not the person for you. She don't want to marry you.
Yeah.
Like, you've been doing this for 10 years.
That's wild.
What's happening?
That's wild. If you don't see it in 10 years, then you
It's
just
crazy.
they're not going to see it. They're not going to see it.
But there are people who wait that long just to end up being married and being unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you bring yourself out. You bring yourself out trying to prove something to somebody. And then by the time you get them, there's an expectation that's being set. There's a foundation that's been set of you going above and beyond.
Yes.
And can't nobody keep up with that.
That was my whole first marriage. Literally. Like, chased him since high school. When I was a senior, I had the biggest crush on him.
Wow.
We were friends for a little bit, went our separate ways. When the opportunity struck again, I was still that girl who had a crush on him. You know what I'm saying? So I worked overtime trying to get him. And then when I finally got him, I was like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. And like you said, I heard that. You know what I'm saying? How you got him, you got to keep it up. If you did this to get him, you got to keep it up. When kids started being added to the equation, real life started added to the equation. I couldn't do everything that I did to make myself so attractive and so desirable to that person. I was like, yo, I'm done doing all that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, then what do I need you for? Because I really wanted you when you was doing all that stuff, but now that you're not doing it, it's like,
yeah.
We both got sold a dream and then couldn't live up to it. And now we're divorced.
That's, yeah. You have to be able to be you, 100% you. The other person see that, and they love that. If you have to be anything other than who you are, that ain't the one. That is not the one. And what happens a lot of times is we get in these positions where, like, these relationships get so stretched out and prolonged, because the truth is, the person that you're trying to, like, step and fetch for, you know what I mean? Like, there's probably plenty of times they're like, man, I don't know, this ain't it. But they didn't know how to break it off.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to say, yo, like, this ain't working for me. You know what I mean? Like me, that was always my issue. There were plenty of relationships I was in where I could feel it was unequal in terms of feelings. I could definitely tell they was more invested in me than I was in them. But I was too nice to say, like, I ain't want to hurt these girls. And if I'm being honest, I feel so trash for, there's so many girls. And it was, like I said, it was a short phase.
But there's so many girls.
One is too many.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I legitimately, like, feel bad. I legitimately feel bad. Not because I mistreated them in any way, but just because I didn't handle that situation right. Like, I know who I am. Like, there's stuff that people do specifically, and they get patted on the back for it. Like, you more of a man when you do this.
Yeah.
But I know better. And when you know better, like, you can't just settle for that. And there were so many times where, like, instead of me just saying, hey, yo,
we done.
Yeah, we're done. Like, I'm not feeling this, or, you know what, I think you're a great person. It's just, you know, I don't know if you're the one for me. I just dragged it on. I'm still having sex. I'm still being me, but I'm not really into it. Maybe I start talking to somebody else, but, you know, it ain't like and I'm giving myself excuses. She ain't like she my girlfriend. You know what I mean? We just been kicking it. But I know she has feelings for me. You know what I mean? And then I just stopped responding. I just go.
You was ghosting?
Oh yeah. King Ghost.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. My ghost was different. I just wouldn't talk as much. Maybe you didn't get a good morning. Why you ain't text me all day today? Or why you respond? I've been busy. You know what I mean? I got with you eventually. I'm texting you now. What's up? What's going on? You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely. I didn't in my mind, I didn't think I had to give that explanation because we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. You know what I mean? But I know what it is. I know you like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've been kind to me. Like, people be undervaluing sex. Like, to me, that's a big deal.
It is. It's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. Be like, oh man, we wasn't nothing. You had sex with her every night,
we
Jay.
just messing around.
What? You're like, look, your bodies are connected.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, G.
It's a lot.
You
It's
can
more
do
than just dating somebody. Like if you're just dating
Absolutely.
and it's casual and y'all not exchanging bodily fluids, then okay, I can almost understand that.
Yeah.
But once like we've discounted sex so much, right? It's
Yeah.
just something we do to make us feel good. When really and truly it is a whole exploration of somebody's soul. Like, and if you're doing it right, like you're creating bonds that could last a lifetime. And if you don't break them off properly, like that's a soul tie that you're keeping with you that will affect their next relationship, your next relationship. Like you have to be able to end that cleanly. It's not just sex. It's a
not at
whole lot
all.
more than that.
It's definitely more than that. And to me, I did a post about this on TikTok, and it was the first video I ever did that like went viral.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason it did is because it was an overwhelming amount of people who just had never had this conversation. It was a whole big side of people who were like, thank you for saying this. I just got ghosted 2 weeks ago. This is literally happening to me right now. And there was a whole bunch of people like, I don't owe you an explanation for nothing. If you
It's not true.
But I will say there were some people that gave me some information that made me think. It made me think. And I still think there are certain parameters. If certain things occurred during the time that y'all dealing with each other,
Yes.
you owe them explanation.
Yes.
But then there were other people who made me see some things that maybe I didn't think about before.
But I think like I was in the comments on some of that stuff. A lot of people felt like if you've been rude to me, if you've been disrespectful to me, if you've been unkind to me, and you don't get the hint that, hey, I'm done. I've had a conversation with you. Like I've said, this is not what I want. I can't do this with you. We broke up, whatever way you put it. And then that person didn't accept it. So they just kept trying to contact you. And so I stopped responding. That's not ghosting.
No.
And that's what I kept seeing people say. Like, oh, well, he didn't get the hint. She didn't get the hint. Like, that's not ghosting. You've said what you needed to say, and they just chose
If
not
they
to
don't receive it, that's on them.
But it's ghosting when you feel like, okay, I'm done with the situation, and you never say nothing else to them.
There were some people, though, who were like, I don't need closure. I don't need you to tell me if you ain't feeling me. If you ain't feeling me, go on your way. Like, I ain't had no awkward conversation. If you ain't feeling me, you ain't got to say nothing to me. Like he said, I'm going to call you twice. You don't answer. I know what it is. Bye.
We are mature adults. A breakup conversation it doesn't have to be awkward. I won't say it's not awkward, but it doesn't have to be awkward.
It definitely don't have to be awkward.
Like, what are we doing? If you're having sex with somebody, you should be able to have difficult conversations with them.
Yeah, no, you bring up a good point. Our bodies literally can connect. I could put my body part in your body part, and that's totally cool. But if it comes to having a conversation, that's where it's like, I don't got to do that. That's where I draw the line. What?
I don't got to talk to you. I don't got to explain to you. Yes, you do.
That's
if
wild.
You're feeling something and somebody that you share space and time with, talk to them.
Absolutely.
Say, hey, and sometimes even if you don't need it, it's for me. Like, if we break up and I'm like, yo, I don't need closure. Like, I'm just done with him. But you might. And I owe that to you. Even if it's not my preference, I still owe you an explanation as to why I'm ending a situation between us.
Absolutely.
And it don't got to be nothing long and drawn out. It could just be, look, I had fun, but it's not fun no more. So I'm done.
Yeah.
It ain't difficult.
It's not difficult. And I don't even see what all of the rigmarole is. Like, what's the issue with it? Like, in any relationship, you got to have conversations.
Absolutely.
In any conversation, any successful relationship, you have to have conversation.
Even if it ain't successful, you still got to have a conversation.
Yeah. I mean, no, if you just plan on having any type of relationship, you could be in there for a while without having any type of conversation. Like, you cannot talk about nothing and stay together for a long time. I know. But honestly, if you're going to navigate the space of relationships, you have to learn how to talk. You have to learn how to say, look, I don't like this. You know how unhappy people going to be? You know how unhappy your life will be if you don't have the ability to just communicate when there's something you don't like?
But the reality is that's a lot of us.
It's a lot
I've
of
been
us.
there.
Yeah.
I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to disturb it. Even as blunt as I am. You know me. If I'm feeling it, I say it sometimes, and I hurt people's feelings and don't even realize it. But there was still, when I was more, well, I would say less mature, I would still just avoid having the conversation because I'm trying to predict how that person is going to react. And if I think that they're going to react in a certain way that I don't feel like I can handle or that I can appropriately respond to, then I just wouldn't have the conversation.
Oh, nah, that's, yeah, okay, yeah, nah, I do that all the time. I chest move it. I be like, okay, if I say this, they gonna say that. And if I say this, then she'll say that. I work my way through the whole conversation. Like, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And sometimes you can talk yourself out of having that conversation.
Yeah, I definitely. A lot of times I'll be like, it's just no point. Because she's not going to listen. She's not going to hear what I'm saying. What's the point of bringing it up?
Yeah. But I feel like now that I've matured and I've learned that, like, respecting my feelings is sometimes more important than managing somebody else's. And if something is making me unhappy, if it's making me uncomfortable, if I just don't feel right about something, like, I owe it to myself to say something. And it's not fair to me to hold it in and let the behavior continue and just feel like, what, I got to put up with it because I love you? Yeah, or because we're in a situationship, or because I don't want to rock the boat. Like, I started to value my feelings more than that. And I'm like, yo, no, I deserve to be happy in this situation. And I'm going to say what I need to say. And if you can't respond in a way that helps us meet in the middle and come to a conclusion, then I don't need to be with you.
That's real. That's real. This is part of the reason why I'm glad I'm out the dating game. I'm out the way because it's crazy out there. Listen, all the singles listening right now to the pod, I want you to know I'm with you. Look, we praying for you because I know it ain't easy out there.
It ain't. It's hard out here, especially in this world of I don't talk on the phone, I just text. And
I don't know how to adjust to that. I can't do that.
We had that when we first started kicking it. I was like, we don't need to FaceTime. Like, why you want to FaceTime me? Like, just text me, send me a little voice note. Like, we good. Why do I need to FaceTime with you?
You know how much I gotta like you to text you a full conversation?
Yeah.
I don't do that with nobody. I hate it's like, okay, just call me. This what we're doing right now, that spanned, which is taking the last hour of my life, could have been done in 10 minutes over the phone.
But that's not the world we live in right now. My son has whole relationship with people just on Snapchat.
They don't even do the phone numbers no more. No. This is my best friend. What's his phone number? I don't know. What?
His Snap is. I can check his location. Like,
yeah, that's wild.
If I need to say something, I can video myself. If not, I just text it. And that's their whole friendship.
That's wild. I remember that about you too. The FaceTime thing.
I did not want to FaceTime you. But my face, it was a little vain. Not a little vain. It was a lot of vain. Like, when I be at home, I be looking a mess. So I was like, when you in the phase where you trying to present your best self to somebody, like, I'm at home, my house probably not clean, my kids running around. Like, what you need to FaceTime me for? It's pure chaos in this house.
And look, I fast forward to that part. I'm trying to get to the part where you can fry in front of me and it's okay. Like, my stomach don't be right. I need to be, if I got to do number two, I'm not trying to wait for you to leave. I'm not finna sit here with my stomach cramping up because you here.
What's different for, I got to present the cute me. It only lasted for about a week. Like, let's be honest.
What lasted for about a week?
When I didn't want to FaceTime and, whatever.
Oh, the FaceTime thing, yes.
Yeah, then my kids was all peeking over my shoulder and talking to you.
Now, you had parameters around your FaceTime. It had to be after a certain time. The kids went to bed around 10, 11.
My kids ain't go to bed that early.
On school nights is when we FaceTime. Okay. Don't do that. You definitely was putting them to sleep. Matter of fact, the first time we saw the phone, you was like, what time you gonna call? Cause I want to make sure my kids sleep. They be loud.
Yeah, for real. That's why I want to FaceTime. I'm like, oh, he gonna see these kids and be like, I can't deal with that. She got way too much going on. My daughter was 4 with a pacifier running amok.
Yeah, Nia was like, let it be known, I'm here. I'm here.
Mommy, who you talking to? So yeah, I think it just behooves us to be a little bit more mature. If we're having sexual relations with people, and we want to end the situation, we need to be able to talk to that person and just say, hey, look, I ain't feeling this no more. I'm good. And they take it how they gonna take it. Now, sometimes you have to coach people through a little bit so they get the point, but it's better than just leaving people guessing.
Yeah. And I know this sounds crazy saying in present day context, but I'm going to just keep it G. Keep it in your pants, yo. the like
the best option.
it's the best option. I'm so serious, and it seems kind of crazy because sex is so important to a marriage,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So to say don't have sex before you married is like, what? What are you talking about? I gotta see what it's gonna be. But I just believe that whoever created this thing knows the best way to do it.
Don't say whoever created it.
I'm going somewhere with it. Don't rush it. If something goes wrong with this, if something goes wrong with my iPhone, I'm not asking her about it. If it's really bad, like when it gets to the point where no one knows what's going on, I'm calling Apple. Mm-hmm. I'm calling the people that made this. No one knows better what to do with this than the people that made it. God made us. The relationship between man and woman, that was created by God. If he says don't do X, Y, and Z, I can't do X, Y, and Z and then when it go bad, be looking like, yo, that's crazy. If Steve Jobs says, yo, don't have this under in extremely hot temperatures, I can't get mad when I had it sitting in the car for 4 hours in the summertime and it stopped working. He said don't do it.
Yeah.
There's a reason for this. And sex, once again, even though modern day culture waters it down, it's so huge. It's not a physical activity. It ain't like playing tennis with somebody. It's not a activity. It is literally a spiritual connection with somebody. And you literally connecting with people that don't mean nothing to you. You have no plans with them other than the physical.
Make your body feel good.
Yeah. And I ain't trying to, I hope this isn't coming off like, you this, you that, because it's not that.
I mean, I think the reality of the situation is we're hopefully talking to all mostly grown people.
Yeah.
They gonna do what they want to do.
That's real.
This is just one perspective.
Yeah.
We are both people who had sex when we weren't married. We know both sides of it.
Yeah.
We waited and abstained or whatever you want to call it until now, and it paid off. I know it worked out. So I feel like I have the best sex of my life right now. And
hold on, say it again. I didn't hear you. So my headphones went. I said
your headphones ain't go out, but because it's lit, I'm gonna say it again. I have the best sex of my life right now.
We did it, Jim.
Hey, yo, I didn't even mean to hit that one, but it makes so much sense.
Oh, we should have did that after the honeymoon.
It makes so much sense.
That's how we should have entered into the sex episode part 2.
We did it, Joe. That's funny.
But
I'm a child.
When I was in the world and I was having sex, it was just mediocre at best. You know what I'm saying? And it was a myriad of factors that tied into why that was. But when I did it God's way, I was like, he know what he doing.
Yes, I do. Yes, he
you.
does.
Not you.
Yes, he does. Yes.
Filthy.
Thank you, Lord.
Filthy.
Amen. Yeah.
I hate it. But he not gonna steer you wrong. So if you trust him, and I'm specifically talking to the Christian people out there right now.
Yeah.
If you trust him, you have to trust him in that area too. You can't just be like, oh, I trust God, but I just need to see. No, then you don't trust him.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real.
That's just my take.
Yeah, or be like, I trust God with this right here, but this right here, I'm gonna have to see this. I can't be rolling the dice on this one.
That. No,
you ain't gonna have
ridiculous.
me sitting on my wedding night looking like, oh, this was terrible. What I give myself into.
It might take a minute. You know what I'm saying? It might take a minute to learn them, but once you learn them, if you are marrying the person that God sent for you, that'll all work out. You don't have to be out here testing the waters and having weird situations and ghosting people and can't break up, and you don't got to be doing all that.
Yeah, that's real.
That's all unnecessary.
It really is. We overcomplicate the dating phase so much, and it seems like all the stuff we have at our disposal now makes it even more complicated.
It does. It doesn't make it easier at all.
It doesn't. You would think all the stuff that we come up with makes it so much easier. It complicates it more.
Swipe left, swipe right. You got people at the palm of your hands, and it literally makes it more difficult.
Nah, yeah, my homie. Hey, I had a homie. I hope you're listening right now too.
Don't tell us business.
I'm not. I hope I get him on the episode, the dude's episode. Mm-hmm. But he was a tender. What's a word I could put for describes what he was?
I don't know. Just
this dude was every day he had a different story about a different girl that he met on Tinder. At the swipe of a finger, you have access to men or women, right? Whatever your flavor of the month is. Man, I ain't never been out with no white girl. I ain't never been with a Hispanic girl. What's this like? You know what I mean? Like, this is how my man was thinking, right? So he's just in a season where he really could have benefited from taking a second, woosah, chill. He had access. And when you have access without the right mindset, oh my God, it sets you up.
Like the world is your oyster.
Yeah, but just think of how much you got subjected to. Because at the end of every story, it had a bad ending. Man, you know that one girl told you, man, tell me what
happened.
Man, pulled up to my job. What? Like, it was always a story. But so many things that if it hadn't been for that tool, he probably never would have even did, or in the beginning it would never got there. But because the intent, you can kind of fast forward through all the like preliminary get to know you stuff. Oh, this is all you want? I'll bet. Let's link. You know what I mean?
Machine matched us, so it must be.
Oh yeah.
An algorithm matched us, so it must be the one.
Yeah.
Now you go out with him and figure out that everything I put in there is just what I wanted people to know about me. Now you get to see the real me. I never ever did internet app, whatever you call it, dating. Just because I'm too leery of people. Yeah. But for me, like, I need to be able to look you in your eyes and really get to know you. That's why our first date was so significant to me. Like, I don't need no distractions. It's just me and you in the park. Tell me what you thinking.
You pounced on me too.
That is a lie.
You wasn't kissing me
from the pits of hell.
We ain't make out.
I mean, we did, but
y'all, you should see the way she was looking at me. I was like, oh my God. I'm lying. Let me stop. Let me stop playing. I'm just joking.
If you just get the audio of this jaw on the floor,
I'm just joking. Hey, I don't want to diss dating apps because I know a lot of people
that are successful relationships from it.
In successful relationships, happy relationships from dating apps. Any tool is only bad when it's in the wrong hands, right? Like, I could have a hammer in my hand and I could hang up a beautiful picture. I could hit somebody over the head with it. Like, a tool is a tool until it's in the hands of somebody who don't know what to do with it, right? So
point is, it just complicates stuff.
It complicates stuff, right? When your heart ain't right, but I just got access to left, right. Ooh, we matched. Hey, how you doing? What's up? What you doing tonight?
And you can be whoever you want to be on the maps.
That's what's really scary. That's what's really scary.
That's the whole reason why Catfish is on its 29th season.
We just finna meet up at this bar. I don't even know this what you look like.
Whoever you want to be.
That's real.
Picture 20 years old. Then you show up and she said she looked like Janet Jackson, got out the car and looking more like Freddie Jackson. Like, you can really be whoever you want to be.
That's real. Oh, that was an old picture.
Like, I need to be able to see you.
That's real.
Learn you, understand you. And I just feel like technology makes that a little bit more difficult. It also makes leaving those situations a little more difficult because we always got this in our hand. And as long as you got my phone number, you can really get in touch with me.
No, that's real. Absolutely. Absolutely. Access is dangerous, yo. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff that I got into just from having access. You know what I mean? All these apps, especially in today's day and time where we put everything
on social media.
Yeah, at one point, look, after my divorce, I went through a heavy like social phase. Everything I did, hey, what's up? I'm cooking breakfast. Like, I'm on Snapchat. Literally, my entire day was seen for the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where I'm at, what's going on? Oh, you and Lance? Oh, what's up? Or hey, oh, yo, what's going on? You know what I mean? And now I'm in a situation just based on being broken and accessible. And that's never the move, yo. That's never the move. When you're broken, like when you ain't right and you know you're not right and you know you need to heal, you came out of something traumatic, you need to allow yourself to be isolated.
Yeah.
Problem is a lot of
reason.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know the difference between isolation and lonely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you're alone and it feels like turmoil, that means you don't got peace. You know what I mean? Like, when you're alone and it feels like time with you and God, you know what I mean? That's different. Like, that's healing right there. But when you just by yourself and you just Yeah, like that could be depression.
Miserable.
That's depression. Like that. I'm not saying just be by yourself and be miserable.
Yes.
And I'm also not saying isolation means you don't have a support circle or people that you can call on.
You're just not dating. You're not entertaining people.
You're not looking for situations that you know you're not even ready for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's those people who be like, I'm single and I'm happy, but then you on every date nap, and every time somebody say hi to you, you want to start a relationship with them.
Yo, I envy the way you handled your single season.
Don't be too. I mean, once I got over the bad stuff, yes, I think I did.
I envy it.
Textbook.
Regardless of what you was going on internally,
yeah,
it didn't reflect in how you handle relationships.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
If anything, it made you more like, okay, walls up.
I ain't doing this.
I ain't doing this. I ain't talking to nobody like that.
But I also had a lot that led up to that. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of a healthy relationship with a man that I've had before you.
Okay.
There was always some sort of, we both broke and we trying to find healing in each other. You broke and I'm trying to fix you. I'm broke and I just want you to save me. Like it was always some type of codependent, just toxic situation. So while after my marriage, I did, I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
It wasn't because just of that situation. It was because of that situation and all the situations.
So it wasn't
before
just
it. Yeah. And I was like, yo. And I really didn't even think, like, I wasn't even blaming nobody else. I was like, I am unlovable. Like, I am just too messed up for somebody to love me. So I sat in that for a very long time.
So even though you weren't accessible, it still wasn't from a healthy place.
It was because I was like, oh my God, I got 3 kids. I look a mess. My boobs is hanging. Like I was just, nobody's ever gonna love me. Nobody ever been able to love me. My daddy didn't love me. If he don't want me, then no man is ever gonna want me. So I sat in that for more than a year.
Wow.
And it wasn't until I got in church and people started pouring into me, I let God love me, that then I started, this wall is up so I can fix me.
Yeah.
This wall is up because the next time that I allow somebody in, it's going to be for the right reasons. And it's going to be because I'm a whole person and I don't need nothing from you. I'm going to be with you because I want to be and you want me.
Yeah.
And so that's when, I do feel like things took a turn and I handled singleness really well. But don't get it twisted. It was a real rough patch in there where I was like, yo, that's it. I'm the worst. And
wow.
I'm not going to put anybody else through the torture of trying to figure me out. So I'm just going to be by myself.
Wow. Yeah.
That was more vulnerable than I planned on being on this podcast.
We've been here before.
Yes.
Don't do that. Look, this family.
Yes.
For me, man, I'm trying to think where my headspace was at during that time. I do know one huge factor was throughout my marital issues in my first marriage, I was really depressed and food was my coping mechanism. And I got like 400 pounds and going into separating, I had lost a gang of weight. So I'm getting looks that I usually didn't get. And I was coming out of a marriage where I felt really unseen, unappreciated. Yeah. So I was thirsty for affirmation. And my confidence was so low. You know what I'm saying? Like I just did not think I was attractive. So then when I got to a point where I was looking for validation through these relationships, that's when I was like, oh, yo, you talking to me? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Then my confidence was up. You know what I mean? Like when we got reacquainted, I think that's one thing you pointed out to me. It's like, yo, you're so much more confident than I remember. I can't even say I got that from the right places. You know what I mean? Like that was all based on what I was getting from the opposite sex. You know what I mean? I did take some time to learn me. You know what I mean? Aside from what I presented to the world, when that got stripped down, the image that I built up for myself, when that got stripped down and I had to just like, okay, who are you? You know what I mean? If you're not this person, who are you? And that did help me. Cause now when I went back to God, I'm not going back to him based on some idea of something I have to be. I'm going back to him like, God, who am I? I don't know now.
Yeah. Show me me.
Show me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that was both. I said I envy you in the beginning, but now the way you said that, I was like,
that's because you didn't know the whole story.
No, but I still think that on top of what you were dealing with, you didn't also have to deal with unnecessary
relationships.
Like imagine you trying to meet somebody in that state.
Yeah, I did. Remember I told you about that. It was horrible.
But you still was pathetic because that was something light. And even then, that's after. You was in church. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about fresh out.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
I couldn't. Like I really felt like I couldn't put somebody else through that.
That's wild. That's wild.
It's all the beating up. We are our own worst critic.
It's the devil.
It is.
It's the enemy.
It is. All he got to do is plant a thought. Just put the little seed in there. We gonna water it. We gonna put the sunlight on it. We gonna make it grow. We gonna cultivate that thing.
That's real.
It's gonna be in there. It's gonna be a whole novel before he just put one word. Unlovable. I was like, you know what? I am unlovable. I'm so broken. I'm so this. I'm so that. And instead of God heal me from that, I just accepted that. So it was like the acknowledgement without the work to be better. Like I just sat in the brokenness.
Wow. We here now though. You know
God
what I'm saying?
Good.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Don't know how we got here, but we here.
God is good. He had a plan from the very beginning.
Yes, he did. Thank God he did too, because my plan did not go.
We got in the way a little bit.
I had my own plan. It didn't work the way I thought it was going. The way I thought it was going to work, that thing fell apart.
We delayed this destiny by 20-something years.
That part, my plan A, B, and C fell through. Nothing worked. Yeah.
And it never will.
It never will.
It never will.
That part.
It never will.
Oh
Just trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding.
That's so
That
real.
is a hot 16. What is it? That's not 16.
It's not 16 bars, but it could be. There's about 60 bars worth of gems packed in that one scripture right there. That's a whole novel you could read on it. It really
is,
there.
but it is I think that is the one scripture that was just like, look, I don't know.
Yeah.
And this is what I need. I just need to know that it's okay not to know.
And honestly, from what I know now, I think God leads us intentionally to these places so we have an understanding of how ill-equipped we are.
100%.
And it's like, yeah, you think you know? Okay, yeah, watch this.
You want that?
You watch this.
Okay, I'm about to give it to you.
Yeah.
Now let's see what you do with
There
it.
you go. You asked for it. How's it going? Oh, you need me? Okay, that's what I thought. Come here.
And he's such a good guy that he comes in and saves us, but we get in our own way. And
yeah, we do.
I think that when you're trying to navigate a single season, it is the best idea to just get out your own way. Every day, you should be seeking God for what he needs from you in that day. And if it includes somebody, he will send them. But if it don't try to make it happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just trust. He gonna work it out.
That's real. Look, after living single in the 90s kind of world, I'm really glad I got my girl. Know what I'm saying?
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my husband.
Yeah.
Nope. So
hey,
that's a wrap for.
Tell me what theme song went harder than that? What sitcom theme song went harder than that?
We're not doing that right now. We're going to say that for another situation. Anyway, so we want to thank y'all for tuning in.
Can we call this episode Living Single?
We can. What they never
Don't renege on this. Don't renege. If the episode, hold on, pause.
My God.
If y'all
have not noticed this, every time I try to end an episode, Russell takes over. This is a whole
What you're not going to do is, I was literally talking and you said, we're not going to do that.
You were singing, actually.
Yeah, I asked you a question. He said, baby, well, we're not going to do that. So, y'all, thanks for joining. We're done. We're done. I was literally in the middle of talking about something. Maybe you don't want to talk. See, remember we was talking about you got to be yourself with people? Uh-huh. This is me being me.
You ready?
Close it out. Close it out.
We thank y'all for kicking it with us today. We hope that y'all found something valuable in this. Remember that we will be going live tomorrow on Facebook to come kick it. We have changed the structure a little bit, so we're not just going to talk about the episode. We're just going to kick it with y'all, take questions, ask questions, and really just, let our guards down for a little bit. This is just going to be the spot where we hang out. You can also follow us on Patreon. We are affordable. We fit every budget.
Shout out to the Patriots.
I hate it. You can get behind the scenes access. We will be on there doing live Q&As. You can also request one-on-one time with Russell and I if you have something that you just don't really want to talk about in front of the world or on one of our lives. And we will dedicate some time to just sitting down with you via Zoom or whatever it is, and just have a real conversation, talk about the things that you're concerned about, pray with you, anything that you need from us. We will try our best to make ourselves available and get you the resources that you need. You can always hit us up on Cash App if you just want to support the show. It is $ what they never told us. And anything else that I forgot?
No, that's all it.
So always remember, we love love.
Y'all should love too.
Bye.
Peace.